So interesting to watch you, because a lot of times you've decided that you will be determined. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to achieve the relationship I want. I'm going to achieve the financial situation that I want. I'm going to achieve the bodily condition that I want. And in that determination, that is a very wonderful thing. It's so good to know what you want, and it's so good to speak about what you want. But we've been talking for years, and if you've been listening to us at all, you've been hearing us speaking about the law of attraction. Yes, most powerful, significant law in the universe, and the one that your understanding of it will serve you better than all others. And for a while you heard us speaking, and we often do, about the law of deliberate creation. We asked Jerry and Esther to call it the science of deliberate creation, because it really is ongoing and it's unfolding. But then we want to talk to you about the law of allowing. We began calling it the art of allowing, because the only law worth mentioning, really, we don't count gravity, is the law of attraction. But the art of allowing really is what we're talking about here. And it's about managing your vibration. It's about caring enough about how you feel that you tune yourself to the frequency of who you really are. Now, that's the most important thing to talk about. So you know that you are extensions of source energy. You know that, don't you? But you aren't just extensions of source energy in the sense that you were source and here you are an extension of that. You are extensions of source energy in a greater sense, in the sense that you are the ambassador of source energy. You are the leading edge of source energy. You are the pioneers of source energy. You are the physical manifestation of source energy. So here you are as leading edge creators, as enormous, essential catalysts to expansion, sifting and sorting and constantly launching these vibrational rockets. Now, you heard us say just now that when you know what you don't want, at many vibrational levels of your being, you know what you do want. Even consciously, you can say, well, I know I don't want that. I know I do want that. But it's much deeper than that. It's much more sophisticated than that. It's much more constant than that, where in every moment of your perceptual experience, you are launching these rockets, which means the larger part of you is becoming constantly. Now, this is the thing that most of our physical friends do not understand, but is so essential to your understanding if you are to understand your emotions or why you are here or how to be happy. And that is that with every expanding rocket or energy or vibration that exudes from you, and it does constantly, all day, every day, that the larger part of you incrementally, and we only use that word because you're shooting the rockets off incrementally, but this larger part of you is incrementally expanding. So that means that the possibility of you getting further, vibrationally speaking, from who you are is something to consider, because every time you know what you don't want, you expand. But the question is, are you taking the expansion, or are you beating the drum that caused the expansion? You follow? Because when you know what you don't want, you expand. And if you know what you don't want, you expand some more. And if you talk about what you don't want, you expand some more. And if you join a blog, you expand some more. And those online chat groups, you expand some more. But the question is, are you going with the expansion, or are you just causing the expansion? And the way you feel is your indicator of whether you're going with it or whether it's getting out ahead of you. And if it gets out ahead of you, then you don't feel so good. If life causes you to expand and you are not aware of the expansion and doing your work in keeping up with it, then the gap can get wide enough that you can begin to experience some discomfort that is beyond the negative emotion that we love you very much. The negative emotion that, oh, we love you so much. The negative emotion that you have come to accept as part of life. In other words, it feels normal to you to complain. It feels normal for you to feel resentful. It feels normal for you to feel embarrassed or fearful, or it feels normal for you. In other words, you know because you talk to others about the same thing and they tell you they feel the same way. And so you validate your negative emotion because everybody's doing it. And because everybody's doing it, it doesn't feel so weird to you, but it ought to feel weird to you because you're supposed to feel good. And when you don't, something's off, you see. So when we talk about the art of allowing, We're not just talking about you allowing your new car to come or your new home to come or your lover to come or your physical condition to improve. We are talking about that, but not just that. When we talk about the art of allowing, what we're really talking about you allowing is your alignment, your connection, your involvement, your vibrational sameness with your inner being, who keeps taking the expansion and never holds back from it. Your inner being, the source within you, this non-physical part of you, who we are wanting you to understand exists in this vibrational frequency of knowledge and understanding and beingness. So we know it's annoying. Focused on the emotion and the rest will follow, but don't worry about what's following, because if you worry about what's following, then you mess up the emotion. So just focus upon the emotion and the rest will follow, but don't worry about what's following, because when you worry about what's following, then you mess up the emotion and it doesn't follow. So just focus on the emotion and the rest will follow, but don't worry about what's following, because if you focus on what's following, you get this? You get this? So often, for years, we have said, as we begin here, are you enjoying the freshness of that new desire? Do you remember when your desires felt fresh? Do you remember that feeling of getting an idea and just the idea of it just made you feel good for a moment? Well, that's the feeling we want you to hold, because as you maintain that, then everything fills in around it. But when that feeling of freshness is muted by your logic, by your awareness, by your comparison, by your taking score, by your measuring yourself with everybody else, by your measuring yourself with your own past experience, when you're measuring the filling in part, we really jumped right into this, didn't we? We've got you right out here on the leading edge. In other words, we are right out on the leading edge of creation with you, and here you are right here with us. Nice to meet you here. Do you believe that the emotion that you feel, that the emotion is more general or more specific than the filled in version? In other words, do you believe that the emotion that you feel when you think about the security of a new car or the fun of a new car, do you think that that emotion is more general or more specific than the leather seats, the torque of the engine, the fact that you no longer need a key, the incredible color that has been created that almost defies anybody's ability to translate color in cars? Have you seen the color of that car? Do you think that the emotion is more general or more specific? It is. It's general. And do you think that it's possible for you to find a general feeling? Do you think it's possible for you to find a general feeling of something without the specifics? This is the key. This is the missing piece that you've been looking for. Because if you can figure out how to induce within yourself, by the sheer focus of your mind, upon the emotional properties of these things that you want, of these relationships that you want, of these recoveries that you want, of anything that you want, if you can isolate within yourself the emotional simplicity, then you will manage to put yourself in vibrational sync with your desire. And when you put yourself in vibrational alignment with your desire, the rest of it just follows. It's law. Now we know that's sort of hard to grasp sometimes, because you've been thinking that source is separate from you for a while, as you've been listening to the bogus human speculation that you are here being tested for something, when really you're here because you are a fabulous creator and you wanted to be out here on the leading edge of thought creating, and you fully expected to let your physical senses explore the data and help you come to conclusions about what you personally and individually think would be better for you right here, right now. Understanding that when you find something like that that you're focused upon, that the source within you will flow to you, through you, about it, you see. Because source is creating through you. What do you think about this world in which you manifest? Do you like manifestations? Do you like setting a goal for something or setting an intention for something and then watching the universe provide the path of least resistance in order to give it to you or in order to show it to you? We want you to understand that that path of least resistance really is the path of your lessening of resistance. Because in the moment that life causes you to want something, everything and everyone, all non-physical focus, the energy that creates worlds is on it, providing circumstances and events with law of attraction gathering up all of the cooperative components, bringing each and everything to you. The path of least resistance means, how are you doing in your allowing of what you want? Because when you want something and you fully expect it to be, there's no resistance and the path is clear and fast and easy. But if you want something and you don't expect it to be, if you want something and you doubt it, and why would you doubt it? Because you think you're not worthy, you think you're not ready, you think that there is some other plan, you think that somebody else is calling the shots. There are all kinds of squirrely, ridiculous things that you have picked up along your physical trail that make you believe in your unreadiness or unworthiness, that cause you really to be unwilling in any moment, unallowing or resisting. So you don't let what you want be, and you have all kinds of ridiculous reasons that you explain why what you want cannot be. And we say, there's only one reason why what you want cannot be right now, and it's because you've got a thought that contradicts it, and you're not allowing it, period. Because source is on it. When you say you want it, when life causes you to identify that you have this desire, you are a creator that came as a focuser of energy. And whatever you want must be coming into being and is coming into being and will come into being, and you will experience it fully if you will allow it. And this whole gathering, what we are here to talk to you about, is how to figure out how to get yourself in the place of willingly allowing the goodness that you're asking for to flow into your experience. Manifestation is such a wonderful thing. Sometimes as we play with you, we hear you. It's like you think that there's spiritual and there's material and that they don't go together. And we say, then how do you explain being here? How do you explain the physicalness that is you? How do you explain the flesh, blood, and boniness? How do you explain the matter, the material? How do you explain the stuff of your physical universe? How do you explain it? It's manifestation that has blossomed as a result of source energy flowing into this leading edge time-space reality. And the goodness of where you are is huge. It is dominant. And the not goodness is just your unwillingness to allow the goodness right here, right now, for some squirrely reason. We're really into squirrels these days. Squirrels are wonderful, but they are squirrely. They seem to have attention deficit disorder. We want you to focus. We want you to be the clear-minded, creative genius that you are. But most of all, we want you to find a way, as we're playing together today, to accept the rightness of your good life. We want you to accept the benevolence of the energy that flows to you and through you. And we want you to get eager and frisky about you being the vortex through which this energy flows. So we've been talking to you for a while about how you are the creator of your own reality. Jane Roberts, through Seth, coined those magical words. You create your own reality. You create your own reality. You create your own reality. But who is you? Who is you? You were you before you came into this body. And you are you in this body, but you are you not in this body. There is this vibrational beingness, this range of vibration that ranges from the source that is you right on through to this furthest most leading edge extension of that which is you. You is you. You cannot pinch yourself off from you. You cannot cease to be connected to that you that made the decision to come, that you that knows of your worthiness, that you that came with the express purpose of sifting and sorting and coming to personal new conclusions about what would be better for you. What would be better for you? What would be better for this time-space reality? What would be better for all that is? What could be better? What would be more? Because when you are an eternal being, that's always on your mind. It's always on your mind. What more? What more? What more? So no matter how good life gets, there's always a potential for more. And contrast sharpens your awareness of wanting the more. Then you must use the power of your ability to focus upon